for Monday. We are missing one of our participants. He should come back. He's on a bit of an older phone, so he's struggling a little bit anyway. So for now, we'll crack on, and if he comes in a bit later, we'll join him. We are, as you can see, I'm still at work, so we're going to keep it a brief one this evening because I've got to do some more work when I finish here. So we've got Jeff, there he is, from Chili Jam Jeff, and we've got Sol from Barely Floating from below me, and then Dave from Narrowboat Changing Pace, if he makes it back, if he can get his phone to work. He was causing a lot of echoing and stuff. So anyway, we will crack on with it, and we'll go around as we normally do and ask Jeff first. I know he's got a new dog. We know that.
Dog.
Got a new dog.
Look.
Dave's dog. Dave's the dog. Yeah.
Try to get him in camera. There he is.
There he is. Dave's dog. How old is he?
He is, I think, he's younger than we thought he was. I think he's about 8 months old.
Is he? 8 months old.
He used to live outside. So
he used to live outside. Jeff wasn't having none of it, so now he lives inside with Jeff.
Yeah, and he was round my head last night when I was asleep, a little sod.
Was he?
I don't know what he thought he was doing.
Right. But anyway,
as for Narrowboat,
Jeff.
Yeah, not a lot really. We went over yesterday and finished. I put a bigger plate on the top of the fire. I finished that, so that's all done, dusted. I've now got to. When I fitted that, I realised that the flue pipe's rusted, so I need to paint that. But apart from that, it's all good. It started up first time. No water in the bilge. All good. We're going over Friday. Have a weekend on it.
Yeah.
Date's fell in already.
Has he been on it yet?
Yeah, we only picked him up Friday, and Sunday's in the canal straight away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sally had him on the lead, didn't want to let him go. I said, just let him run, Dib. No, so he jumped off. Sally wasn't ready. It pulled the lead tight, and in he went.
All right.
So apart from that, he's all right. Apart from the boat, yeah, everything's good. As I say, it started up first time. There's no water in the bilge anymore.
Yeah.
So all I've got to do now really is paint the flue pipe, and we're good to go.
How about your bathroom?
No, I ain't touched that yet, man. I ain't going to do that until summer.
No, springtime.
At least until we can get the car down to the boat. I'm not going to carry everything.
No.
So once we can get down there, then we do need to cut the grass and tidy the mooring up. But very little.
That won't be long. It'll soon be spring.
Yeah, it's dry. It's just waiting till them open the gates.
Until they open the gates.
Yeah, and then we can go. But yeah, apart from that, nothing new. Good.
Nothing going on. Oh, we'll whip round. We'll move to Sol. What have you been up to, Sol? I know you've been working.
I've been up to tons of stuff. I've been faffing with my coolant system for months. I seem to have an air leak in it somewhere in the system. Anyway, I found it eventually. There was a tiny little drip on a new coolant pipe that had been fitted. And it was just a minute little drip. I hadn't really noticed until I leant over. I was actually trying to get to the inspection hatch from the oil breather.
All right, yeah.
So I bent over there and I just looked down, and there was this little tiny bit of water. What was happening was I was running it for I ran it for like 45 minutes an hour. It was all over one weekend I did this. And I kept getting bubbles coming through. And I'd spoken to Jeff earlier in the year, last year. I was going to do one of those sniff tests.
Yeah.
But I knew that I had air going in the system somewhere. Anyway, I found it, and my oil cooler was actually leaking a little bit. So I tightened that up, and the pipe above it was leaking. So I tightened everything up, and I've ran it a couple of times, and touch wood, it seems to have cured it. When I was turning it off, it was like making a gurgle noise because it was sucking air in, obviously. So, but it stopped that, so I can run it now for like 30 minutes with the radiator cap off. There's no bubbles or nothing.
Spot on.
So that's one bit done. So trying to get that inspection hatch off is going to be an absolute mammoth task because there's silicon the thing. The engine
serious, man.
So
All they need
I'm gonna-
is a gasket and a bit of grease, and then if you
that's
ever need
it,
to take
yeah.
it comes
Oh,
off.
this thing's silicon to high heaven.
Yeah,
There's
it's
8 of them.
horrible stuff.
Yeah, so I've got that. That's another job, but the main job we've been doing is the bedroom. We've been taking the bed out, moving the hot water tank around, trying to find the best position for it for our new bed that's going in, cross bed.
Yeah,
So we're doing all that. So that's been a bit of a job. That's been like 3 weekends worth, really, of job, because I had to take it all to bits. It was all slot-headed screws. Everything. Had to undo it by hand.
Really?
It was so well put together. I mean, the guy who did it was either a professional or a very good DIY. But it was done in 1988, I think. So, and yeah,
It's been there a while.
yeah, slot-headed screws were what we used back then in the 80s.
Oh, why do they use slot-headed screws on boats so much?
Well, it was 'cause-
nightmare.
Yeah,
Was it because
Well,
they
it
were
was-
brass?
yeah. Well, no, yeah, I don't think you get very many brass screws that are posi drive, but people don't really use brass screws anymore. But yeah, I mean, when I started work, posi screws were only just coming in, and they were going to be a flash in the pan. These new cordless drills were never going to catch on.
Yeah.
Little did we know.
Yeah. Just
Well,
so you
yeah,
know,
so-
I'm going to apologise to everybody because for some reason chat's not working, so I'm not seeing any
Well,
chat
I've got
come up.
that.
I've got them.
Oh,
Have you?
Yeah.
Has there been much going on in it?
Get rid
used to
of
be,
the
yeah.
followers' comments.
Get rid of the
Some-
followers' comments.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this promotion. Oh yeah, acquired.com. Yeah.
So I'm not seeing anything. When I try and turn it on, I'm just getting the spinning wheel of doom. So
What's it, is it a con, you reckon?
Yeah.
yes.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm not sure what's happening there. Oh, that's no good. I was going to go and get my technician, but I thought I'd better not disturb her because she's still working. So,
Well,
so sorry if I can't see anyone unless the
yeah,
others
I can only see a few of them. It doesn't let me see too many of them.
But you can see if people are commenting, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, it won't move up and down mine now.
Can you not?
Nah. What Paul Coulshaw, he's got a new mattress. And yeah, we got a 2-part mattress. I'm not sure we got it off. I can't remember now. But we got a 2-part mattress. So it's a 4-foot top half and a 2-foot bottom half.
Yeah. That's good. I can't see them at all. So you're gonna have to just run them. If you see any ones that need answering, if you can just go back to it, you won't be able to
it's gone now. It doesn't move.
Oh, really?
So I've got Louise and then that acquired.com and Paul.
Okay,
and I know Paul put something else further on, but I couldn't quite see it.
Yeah, for some reason I'm not seeing any of it. Anyway, let's not dwell on it. So yeah, so you're doing that. So we got Dave back. Let's risk it. Shall we risk it and switch Dave on? Dave,
on.
are you
Don't
there?
swear, Dave. Oh, he's got it.
He's gone again. Yeah, Dave's unfortunately on a bit of an older phone. I think he's struggling with it a little bit. So as I see him flick up, I'll turn him on.
Yeah.
So what else apart from that? What you've been up?
So that's pretty much it. So next month is finishing the bed off, and I'm gonna then hopefully we're gonna move off our mooring then.
Oh yeah.
End of the month, yeah, we're gonna move off and test run all that engine stuff and see how we're doing. And then if I get good days, I'm gonna paint the roof.
Right, one more time with Dave. All right, you ready?
Hiya, Dave.
Hi, Dave.
You there?
He's smiling.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
yeah. And no feedback. Can you not hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Brilliant. Okay, that's great.
Go
Yes,
with Dave and then go
you
back.
sit there. Don't touch
So that's me
anything.
done
Dave.
anyway.
That's you done, are you?
Yeah,
is that
I've
you
had
finished,
enough.
Joel?
I'm going to bed now.
Yeah. let's go over. Let's see what Dave's been up to, shall we? Before we lose him. So, what you been up to,
dear.
Dave?
Batteries, really. And his TV aerials broke as well.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Tried to fix that yesterday. Got soldering iron out and put it back together. Nothing. New batteries aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, or I don't think they're doing as well as the other batteries. We are charging once a day. They are a lot better than the old batteries I took off, but they're not really behaving how I'd expect.
We had a chat
whether
about
that's-
this the other day, didn't we?
Yeah,
And we did wonder whether, because it all sort of coincides with when Dave fitted his new fancy heavy inverter stroke charger stroke. Obviously, going through the summer, he's gone through a summer where he's had really good solar input.
Yeah.
Got to the winter, changed his batteries, and the input seems to be whether they're having a bit more of a taking a bit more out of the batteries.
so yeah, we are. Or I was thinking, because I've got a small backup inverter that's only 800 watts, and I was thinking I didn't get a chance to do it yesterday before I came back to work. Crying out loud.
That's his other phone.
You all right?
I don't know who the bloody hell that were. I was thinking of putting the sort of like the smaller inverter on, not using the large inverter, see if that gives us a better range on batteries. I don't know, to tell you the truth. Louise is using the Jackery, so it's a bit hit and miss at the moment. And also yesterday we did a little cruise to fill up with water, turned around and went back to the mooring that we were on, and I think the tiller bearing's gone as well. So
Really?
that's something else I've got to look at. Yeah, I think bearings collapsed. It's just a bit jerky on tiller when you're steering.
You're getting shuddering.
No, it don't shudder at all. There's no shudder from it's the bearing that sits in top, and I think it's collapsed because there's no.
He's obviously pressed the wrong button to answer it, isn't
He's
he? As well.
he was doing so well.
He was doing well.
He was doing so well. Well, we'll wait for him to go back. Come back. I'll add him back in when he pops up again. So we've obviously been.
Hang on a sec, Glenn. Paul Culshaw's had a few comments here, and he's just locking through life as well as said hello, guys. Evening. And Paul's he's had some good solar today. He almost feels like spring.
Yeah.
Wherever he is.
Yeah. It was. It's been quite sunny, I think, today.
It's
Yeah.
cold,
Is Dave back again now? You're back. Are you back, mate?
Oh, he's not.
Are you frozen? It's a good picture, though.
No, he's alive.
Oh, he's back.
There, he's alive. He's
Dave's
alive.
alive.
It's
How you doing?
alive.
Alive.
Oh my God!
Right,
what a
sorry.
nightmare.
So we froze you there. You were mid conversation about your tiller bearing.
Yeah, tiller bearing's knackered. It's just a roller bearing, and it's, you know, when you get water coming up through through the shaft, and I think it's just knackered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip tiller off with a nylon bush, I think,
Yeah.
which should last a bit longer.
Is it
So,
like a tapered bearing?
no, it's just a normal NGK roller bearing.
Is it?
Sits in an housing that I built, and it just sort of like gets. Well, the idea was to get it gives the steering, you know, a nice smooth thing. But I think I packed it with grease last time I changed it, probably only 4 or 5 years ago. But I think, you know, when you sort of like got a lot of revs on and water gushes up through tube,
With tube, yeah.
I think it's just flushed out grease out of bearing and it's knackered. So that's another job on list to do.
Yeah. Can you do that while it's in the water?
Yeah, it's not a problem. The only problem is getting the hub of the tiller. The pipe runs down, and then there's just a thread inside, and a hub that sits on top, and the bearing sits in an housing, so it's really easy to get to. It's not like some of these Liverpool boats where, you know, what goes wrong with your tiller, that's it. You've got to chop it up and start again.
Mine's a Liverpool boat.
How's it in Liverpool,
Mine
mate?
does this when it's in a lot. Mine's always doing this. I think that's
Flickering.
normal.
Ours though,
Yeah.
got a bit of play in the bearing. Bottom bearing's gone altogether in ours.
And you can't
So-
take mine. It's got to come up from the top. You've got to go underneath the boat, undo it, and pull the shaft up. I think because there's nothing to
Yeah.
undo on the top.
Yeah, ours does sit in a little cup.
No. I've
Um,
got bearing or grease regular, but the actual where the tiller is on top, it doesn't bolt on. That's one shaft.
is it?
You can't get. There's nothing to unbolt. So I think you have to take the rudder off and then pull the whole shaft up.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
You can't do nothing with the top of it.
Yeah, but some at Liverpool boats, the rudder's actually welded to shaft, so you can't take the rudder off and pull
Lovely.
the shaft up. It's all in one piece.
Lovely.
When we
Yeah,
were out, yeah, you're buggered. When we were out for blacking 2-3 years ago, there were a Liverpool boat out outside of us, and they got problems with tiller, and he more or less just blobbed some weld on it to patch it up. Says some Liverpool boats are notorious for it. It's hardly built.
right.
It's a rubbish idea the way they've done it. I do get water. If I give it full beans backwards, I get water coming up the tube. That's
Yeah,
why
that's fairly common. Nutshell used to do that.
I just keep greasing it up regular.
Yeah, Nutshell.
It's always done that as you're cruising. It's always done that.
Yeah. There's a couple of guys at the boat club that because when ours was out the water, they said to me, "Oh, your bottom cup bearing's gone. It's disintegrated, but it's fine. A lot of it happens, but it's wearing the cup.
Yeah.
The cup's quite worn." And a couple of the guys there, and what they've done is they've cut theirs off, welded a new housing with a proper bearing in it.
Mhm.
And so it makes the rudder really nice, but it does mean that you can only pack it when it's out of the water.
Right.
And obviously over the year or the 2 years, it completely is submerged in water because it's a lovely feeling. I felt one, and his rudder was amazing. No play in it at all. Nice big bearing sitting at the bottom of it. And he said about doing it, and I was all, well, I don't know if I can go down cutting off the bottom of that and redoing that at the moment. So I only had a week to black it, so I didn't really have time to faff about with getting hold of a bear. He said he'd get me one, actually. He said he'd get me from a company in Bedford, a bearing from this company in Bedford that he uses. About 2 or 3 of them in the club have done it, converted it, but we'll see. We'll see. So anything apart from your battery debacle and your rudder, Dave, is there anything else?
No,
Boiler
not at the
working.
moment, I don't think, unless
Boiler
Lloyd's.
working.
Pardon?
Boiler working.
Boiler's working. Touch wood. I've just got lots of problems with batteries and boiler and that. I'm sort of like behind on other little jobs that I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So I've just got to get. I'm hoping for a bit of respite. I thought these batteries were going to solve that problem. They are. Don't get me wrong. They're not useless. They're all right, but just not as good as I thought they were going to be. So, but yeah, I've got just run-of-the-mill things to do. But when you live on a boat, I've still got window frames to do, and engines not starting first time, so I'm going to do a service on engine, change all filters, probably do an oil change. But once it starts, it runs lovely. It doesn't start unless you get a few revs.
Right.
So
Heater plugs.
I don't think mine's got them on, Jeff.
What engine you got?
It's a Barra Shire 45.
It's a diesel. It should have heater plugs somewhere, unless it's direct injection. But they still got them. You might just have one.
I don't know. You turn key and turn it straight away, and it bursts into life. Or we've never had to leave it ignition on for 10 seconds. Like glow plugs, like you normally do.
You got no glow plug light.
Pardon?
You haven't got a glow plug light.
No, it just comes on and turn key and off it goes. And I'm sure when we first got it, I read that it hadn't got glow plugs, but I might be mistaken that way a while ago. But on spares parts list for engine, it don't mention glow plugs at all. But anybody out there that's got a Barra Shire engine can tell me any different, yeah, please do. Or if anybody's had same symptoms.
That's really odd, really, with a diesel like that, because you've got to have some sort of preheat.
At least one. Some of them are in the air filter trunking at the end. There's like one big one. If it hasn't got the second ones, it'll have one. But
yeah, maybe so, Jeff. I don't know. I might be talking complete nonsense there.
You're out having
The wind says it's direct injection.
Yeah, it could be direct injection, but even then, they still have a glow plug normally.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Have a look, Dave. Anyway,
have a look.
Yeah, I'll pull paperwork out for engine, and I've got a big manual for it, and I'll pull that out when I've got 10 minutes here and there, and have a read through and see what it suggests. I've been meaning to go on forums and see if anybody else has had that same problem.
Yeah.
But it's quite a new air filter. I mean, we've hardly done any hours on engine last year, and it was serviced by RCR at the beginning of last year. And oil's still nice and clean, so yeah. But it only takes a bit of muck or something in fuel, doesn't it, something like that, in filter to. But what I'll do is I'll clean out filters, and I'll bury a little compressor from work and blow all pipes out just to make sure.
You say your oil's still clean and it was done a year ago?
Yeah, it's not too bad at all.
It really has been like black, and I did it like a couple of months ago.
Fully synthetic oil, though, Dave.
All right.
Is it fully synthetic oil you use?
Yes.
Yeah, that is good stuff, man. That will stay clean for ages. That is expensive, but it is good stuff.
Yeah.
That's because of the engine. The engine you've got then, if it's direct injection, it's obviously that modern that
No,
it's.
you can put it in, and you can change your oil and put synthetic in it as long as you don't mix it. You either
Yeah.
put it all in on. You know, you can't put mineral oil and synthetic all together.
No.
No, it don't mix, does it?
No, you can run it on. Well, I remember years ago we put synthetic oil in the back axle of an old Leyland tipper, and that would go years. And eventually, I think the half shaft went, and that oil come out of there like the day it went in. It's unbelievable.
Really? So you can't? I didn't think you could. You see, but
You
I
can
suppose
use it, yeah, but you can't
you,
mix them.
you get glaze though, don't you? From
Well, you do and you don't. If it's just the cost, really. You know, it's quite expensive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's good oil.
Terry Roberts
Me-
said his Barry Shire 45 had no glow plugs. Starts first time off the key.
there you
Yeah.
go.
You've got other problems then, Dave, ain't you?
Yeah, I think it's fuel related. I think I just need to change filters, get a good hot pipes, get a good blowout with a little compressor, like I did when we had diesel bug and local was supposed to be fixing it, couldn't fix it, and I went back and took all filters off and blew all pipes out and put it back together, and it started first time.
Yeah.
So I think what it's done is probably just picked a bit of crap up at bottom of diesel tank, and it's got lodged, and it might be blocking one at pipes slightly, or wedged in one at filters. That's, you know, when it's really cold, it
Yeah.
doesn't start. But yeah, even when it's been freezing weather, when it's been -2, you just turn key straight away and the engine fires. It's
Yeah.
just last month or so, six weeks, when Lou's been starting engine, it hadn't started, and she just pulls lever out to disengage gearbox, puts a few revs on, and it starts and runs. No blue smoke, no smoke from engine at all.
Yeah. Just obviously not happy starting on tick over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But oh well, you need to get that sorted out then, mate.
Yes.
Big
You
hello
ready?
to retired Dale.
Who said that?
Dale.
Dale's on. He's having a new boat built.
Yeah, he is.
Oh, is he? I
Retired.
can't
He's
see the comments for some reason, Dave. That's why I'm not answering them.
Yeah, it's all right. And apart from we because there's plans as to go down to Kennet and Avon, we're now trialing different gangplanks. So
Oh, yeah.
we got gifted a plastic one yesterday or Saturday, and we've got our aluminium one. So we just playing about with them now to see which is best and which we can adapt. So
Yeah.
that's enough for me anyway.
nice to hear you anyway.
Yeah, it's working well. Whatever you've done worked.
Yeah.
I got my old A5 out of my bag that's got no SIM card in it, no charge.
Right.
Switched it on, and I'm running off the hotspot of the Nokia. I put hotspot on that so I can get internet on the A4. But it's a bit dodgy charging the A5,
It's
which
working.
is why I
It's
swapped
working
it.
well. It's very clear.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I need a new phone.
Yeah, I think it's time. Bite the bullet, mate. Bite the bullet.
Yeah.
But okay, well, we've been round Sol and we've been round Jeff anyway. So I'm just going to quickly whip round what we've been up to. Obviously, we've now sort of moved back onto the boat. I haven't really done anything to the boat itself. I had a bit of oil in the oil catch tray underneath when we first went out, which I've now cleaned out, and I think it's used a bit. I think it's used a bit of oil, but I swapped my oil last time I changed it under advice to 1040 semi-synthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was on SAE 30 before. So I'm going to go back to SAE 30 because I did exactly the same with Nutshell before. And apparently they say it's something to do with whether it's keel cooled or whether it's raw water cooled or air cooled. And he said to me, the SAE 30, you should be using like semi-synthetic on a keel cooled engine, water cooled engine. And I was like, okay, but I think it's thinner than the SAE 30. Is that what it is? It thinner?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, well, that seems to be causing a plethora of issues. One of them being a bit of smoking and a bit of oil leaking and a bit of it only smokes a little bit just when it gets hot. Tends to be a bit rattly when it's cold start and not so bad when it's warm.
Yeah, I won't worry about the rattle when it's cold. That's just a diesel knock. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. It's not. I'm not. It's just when it's warmed up, it's not too bad at all, to be honest with you. But it does smoke a little. Not when I say smoke, I mean a little bit. It does smoke a bit if you really put on the revs. But I'm going to go back to SAE 30 anyway. Give it a go. See how it works out, and take it from there. The boat itself has been fine since we've been out. The Jackery is. We wouldn't be able to survive without it, to be fair. It's been brilliant. I would, the way we do it, if I can't get to an electric point, so I've sort of been bringing it to work. I take it if we're quite far away from the car at the moment. It's about a 10-minute walk, so you have to sort of lug it up to the car, but it's not that heavy. It's quite easy to carry. And today I brought it to work, and if we're at the boat, I'll run the boat for an hour and a half and plug it in. Charge that. We charged it while we went along. We've gone from Milton Keynes to Cosgrove, so we're sitting at Cosgrove at the moment, and it charged to 100% on the way. The battery overnight we use it to run everything from when we get in, and it uses about 30% of the power of the Jackery. So in the morning, it's about 70%. That runs telly, lights, charging computers, charging phones, internet. The internet's on it. So it's solved. Mrs. Warner seems very happy with it, as the solution. And so all the leisure batteries they're running the pumps and the internal lights. If we turn on the round lights, the main lights. But I have got to rewire it, and I have got to make it easier to plug in and out. And I've got to put what do we call it? A plug-in outside shoreline in. But that's again, I'm a bit like Jeff. I'm not going to do it till the spring because I've got to rip the whole back cabin out to get to all the wiring.
Yeah,
so it's literally we have our wardrobe, shelves, a false wall, and then all the wiring for the boat is behind that wall, which is backs onto the firewall to the engine bay. So that's all got to come out for me to get to all the wiring, to tidy it up, change it all, make it all neat. So I'll do that in the spring. I'm not doing it because it's like you got to put, if I've got to pull all, because the boat's not very big, there's nowhere to put all that stuff. So I need to put it on the back deck or on the tow path. So, but apart from that, she's been fine. It's been hot enough, we've been warm enough, more than enough space, believe it or not. It has been absolutely fine. I think the biggest sort of pain is having to take your washing. You can't do what we ain't got a wash machine, so we take that off to somewhere. But the plans this year are to get a few bits changed in it. I'm gonna get as much as I can done this year, as long as along with the conversion of the van, which I've got to tell Crick to do. I've got to tell Crick to do. Have you got comments on there, Sol?
Yeah, Dwayne. Remember we had that conversation about the chap who had a situation with someone with a machete.
Oh yeah.
We did that video on it. He said he's just said thank you very much to us for doing that.
That's all right.
So I hope it was all resolved.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll let us know.
Yeah. But so yeah, apart from that, we're on the move. We're going to be going up to Stoke Bruin and then turning around and then probably heading back. Well, we might go through to Gayton actually for a couple of months, and then a couple of weeks, and then we'll be heading back because then we'll be off down to Devon to sort the caravan out at the beginning of March. So, but it's all right. The bike's been all right. It's been fine. It's been all working well. Can't complain.
Good out.
Had any complaints from the complaints department, which means it's all right. Everything's going well. So, I will. Have you got much going on this year, Jeff? I'll quickly whip round, then I'm going to end it because I'll say I've got to go back to work.
So what going out?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, we go out this weekend. I need to go and turn it round. I might probably go up to Marsworth and turn it round, and then we're on it for a fortnight in May. Is it May? No, August. We're out on a fortnight. Obviously, and any time we get in between.
Yeah.
We like to get the new dog used to it, really.
Yeah.
So you don't fall in again.
Yeah, don't need that drama. Not when you get through locks and that.
No,
it'd be a good demo down to Marsworth and back because it's 4 or 5 in it.
Yeah, we normally put the I made a frame with some like chicken wire, but it's not chicken wire. That goes in the door at the front, so they can't get out. And then I normally just keep the back door shut,
yeah,
so they can't get out. Don't want them out while we're in the lock. It's just something else you've got to worry about. If they're in and they can't get out, that's fine.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, but apart from that, no. I say
good.
Every other weekend.
Yeah.
Do a bit. Good. Once we can get there in the car, it'll be even better.
Yeah, you can get on with some jobs then. Some jobs.
Yeah.
So, Dave, this year?
This year we'll go where we go. We've got long-term plans. We're hoping to go back up on 7, River Haven into Stratford, then down Oxford onto Kennet and Haven up to Bristol, back down through London, Potter about in London, and then up Grand Union, down Northampton Arm, out through Fenlands, Crotswash to Boston, then up to Lincoln, and then we'll see where it rests it.
Dave, then you said you're going to potter around in London. Does that mean you've got to drive to Sheffield every week?
Yeah. I'll probably get train, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, trying to find somewhere to park and that is going to probably be a challenge, isn't it?
So there's no time scale on when we're going to do this. If it takes us 3 years to do it, it takes us 3 years. So, but yeah, hopefully by sometime this year we'll be down on Kennet and Haven.
Cool.
Hence why we're playing about with gangplanks so we can get dogs on and off boat.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, I'm sure there'll be lots of other things you'll be doing on the way and fixing on the way.
I'm sure there will be.
So cool. All right, and so, and your plans?
Don't know is the answer. Not yet. Don't know what we're going to do. We've got a few plans, but we're waiting on engine bits and bobs. Quick question from Dwayne. Question for you guys: with solar charging batteries 100%, soon as put TV on, battery drops to 70%. Why new battery? Solar panel is 245 watts.
Won't be the panel. It won't be the solar panel.
No.
It'll be if it used to do it. I mean, that I'm swapping our TV because our TV's drawing too much out of the Jackery. Our old TV would never have drawn what this new TV is drawing out. So we're actually going to get our old TV back off Nutshell. The guy contacted us and said he's not using it, and said we could have it. So I'm going to pick
ours as well because we had a little smart TV and that was drawing too much current.
Yeah, I remember you got the same one as we got. I told you to get
I got it off of Facebook.
Yeah, so we're going to get it. We're going to pick it up from him. He said we could have it. So that might be a TV draw. It depends if it's what it's taken out of the batteries.
Our TV is pretty good. I think we got a 12 volt TV.
Have you?
Yeah, it's a smart TV, but I think it's a 12 volt one. I seem to remember it works off 12 volt.
Yeah.
So that helps Dwayne anyway. And he has got a channel, and he does talk about what happened to him with the machete incident on the thing. So I'm going to check that out and possibly have a chat with him at some point.
Yeah, that's cool. So that's cool. So you don't know what you're up to until you've got your engine sorted out.
Not a clue yet. We'll find out.
Cool. What I'm going to do is, because I'm going to wrap it up because I need to go back to work. I'm going to pick some subjects for next month. We'll find some actual subjects to talk about, as in the not normal stuff, but stuff that people want to discuss, like the toilet chat, maybe some different type of batteries, some charging, some inverter. Do you want to pick some? I'm going to pick some subjects that we want to, so we can cover it properly, to give us some trials, and also, even though because the two of us have got Jackeries, I know, but try and how we're getting on with those through the summer as well, to see how the solar panels perform. So I'm gonna wrap it up now, and I'll thank for everyone. Sorry I couldn't comment. I don't know why that's not working. I should speak to the technical department in a minute when I go back in the other room. And sorry to keep it short, but we'll crack on. So Chili Jam Jeff, we'll see you soon.
See you later.
Fairly Floating Soul, check him out. And Narrowboat Changing Pace over down there. Dave, you eventually got it to work. Well done, Dave.
We got it.
Louise will be pleased with you. So, and me from Life with a Meaning, we'll see you next month. And thanks for watching. Cheers.
See ya.
See ya.